What is up? It's your girl Lex. Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new, welcome. I'm so glad to have you. Pretty much over here we talk about beauty, business, and lifestyle, baby, period. In this video today, I'm going to talk about how to get y'all together so y'all can get all up out your mama house and get into your own spot. That's right, y'all. I'm going to give y'all some tips on how to better prepare to get your first apartment. So if you guys are interested in watching, stay tuned. Alright, so let's just go ahead and get into it. I don't know how many tips I wrote down, but I got my phone right here, so we just gonna go ahead and get into it. First off, I want to start off the video by giving a disclaimer. These are some of the things that I did that worked for me, okay? This ain't the guide for everybody. This is not going to work for everybody, but you are free to try these out for yourself and see if they work for you. Yeah, just had to go ahead and put that out there, all right? So I want to start off the video. First thing I want to say is, all right, you should have a steady income or a strong, and I mean strong, support system, right? Because it costs money. And if you're anything like me, I'd rather be able to pay for it by myself, okay? But if you do have a strong support system, meaning a family who don't mind paying your bills, then honestly this video is not for you. This video not for you, sis. But if you do have a strong support system that don't mind paying your bills, you can watch too. But for everybody else who is really looking to make this move, all right, you're really looking to make this move on your own, you have to have a steady income. You do. And honestly, when you start applying for these apartments, they're going to check to see where the money is coming from, because they need to know that they're gonna get their coin. So it only makes sense. You know, don't try to do something before you can actually afford to do it. So I'm gonna start off the video by saying that, because that's very, 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 very important. All right. So, all right, the next thing is know what you can afford, right? So this goes back to having that steady income. Even if it isn't, you know, a salary job where you know what you're getting every 2 weeks, if you are working something that's a little bit more hourly, you know, okay, the more that you work, the more that you get paid. So if you're okay with that, then maybe you could increase what you can afford. But if you work on a more hourly type of pay, I would suggest that you kind of stay moderate in what you can afford, because you don't want to burn yourself out, sis. Now, if you're okay with working more to be able to afford more, that's completely up to your discretion. I don't suggest it. I suggest that if you are working a more hourly job, that you try to stay within a moderate range of what you can afford, because at the end of the day, girl, you're gonna spend your entire life working. You ain't gonna never be in the apartment because you're gonna be working too busy trying to keep the lights on. And that's a whole dub. If you have a salary pay, then you kind of somewhat already know what you can afford based on the bills that you already have and the expenses that you already have. It's kind of easy to figure out, okay, well, how much money can I spare with still having money to be able to stick to the side and save and live out of. So that's good too. Know what you can afford, y'all. Please don't try to do more than what you can afford, because you will definitely regret it. Okay, so next I would also say, when considering what you can afford, kind of consider what expenses can go. You know, what subscriptions are you paying for that you don't really even use, or what memberships do you have that you don't use? You know, consider where you can gain extra money from in your budget. I would definitely say consider what expenses can go, because at the end of the day, y'all, when you move, it's like money just be coming from left and right. Like, everything needs money. it costs more money than what you think it does. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. Don't let anybody tell you different. Money be like flying left and right. It be gone, right? It costs more money than you think it does because, okay, you can't just consider, okay, rent, okay, my water bill, okay, my electricity. You still have to eat. If you have a car, you still have gas. If you do have a car and you're paying your insurance, you still got to do your insurance. You got to do the maintenance on your car. Like, there's so many other things. If you have a security system, you got to pay for that. Like, it's stuff that comes out left and right. Literally, if you need internet, if you want to get TV, you know, it's not just your rent that you have to consider. So know what expenses can go. Really figure out what are you paying for that you're okay with giving up to have more money to kind of spread out a little bit better, because you gonna need every little dollar you can get. Okay. All right. So the next one is very, very freaking obvious. Save your money. Save your money. Y'all, and this is one thing that I wish I would have did a little bit longer, just a little bit longer. But I'm telling you, please save your money. And here's the thing, don't up and decide you want to move and then start saving. You should already be saving your money anyway. But if you're not a good saver, then you also may not be trying to move out for real. Please save your money, and not only just save your money, but have a savings goal, right? Make it a goal to say, hey, I want to have half a year of rent before I move out, which is a smart ordeal anyway. That will be way more ideal for someone who wants to be a little bit more steady when they move out of their parents' house. I guarantee you. Have your savings goal. Say I'm going to save 10 grand. Or say, hey, I'm going to stay at home for a year after I graduate from college and I'm going to save $1 grand a month. In a year, you'll have 12 grand. You'll be ready to go. You know? So really save your money, y'all, because like I said, it costs more than what you think. The little expenses add up, and the next thing you know, all of your money is gone on just simply trying to pay for your apartment and survive after you do that. So really save your money. All right. So those are kind of just the preliminary things, some of the things that you should consider when thinking about whether you want to move out. Okay, now you're at the stage where you decide, yeah, I got the steady income, or I got the strong support system. I've been saving my money. I done met my savings goal. I already have a good idea of what I can afford, right? You decided you're moving out. Cool, sis, you moving out, but you can't move out yet. You need to make a list, right? This list needs to be a detailed list of all of your wants and all of your needs. What are you looking for out of an apartment and the apartment complex? I say you should probably do 2 drafts of that list, right? The first draft should just be random. Whatever comes to your head, write it down, okay? And then the second draft of that list, really rank that list from the things that I know I absolutely need to, okay, I want this, but I'm okay if I have to wait to get this. Really make that list. Really make that list. And the reason why I say make that list is because after you make that list, you're gonna need to do your research. Okay? You're in the phase where you've decided, I'm moving out. Now you want to get to looking at apartments. Okay, you want to know what's on the market. You want to know how much this costs, how much that costs, right? So when you get to looking, and let's say you do find something that has every need, everything at the very top of that list, that place has it. Okay, that place has it, but guess what? It's 2 times more than what you can afford, right? And now that's where you got to depend on that list you gotta depend on that list to figure out, okay, what can I compromise on? What can I give up on? Ultimately, if you're coming right out of college, and let's say you were like me, you did have a job opportunity where it pays you a very decent amount of money. It's not outstanding, but it's enough to get the bills paid, and you can survive after that. You are in a better position. Now, for the people that are just getting out of college and they just want to move out, and maybe they're just working a part-time job, and the more they work, the more they get paid. These are the people that I'm saying you're probably not going to be able to get everything you want. And that's something that you're really going to have to let sink in your head. You're going to have to accept it. Either you're going to accept it, or you're going to be working your behind off to pay for something you can't afford, or you're going to end up back at home because you wanted to live way beyond your means. And I don't want that for y'all. I don't want that for anybody. It's not fun. The last thing you want to do is go back home, right? So put yourself in a good position before moving in the apartment, or picking an apartment and moving in, so that when you do finally make that step, you've already laid the foundation work. You know what I'm saying? You were okay. You were understanding that some things you were gonna have to give up, and some things you absolutely had to have. All right. So when you do your research, do your research. Really do your research. You're going to find out, okay, maybe I can't get the all-white cabinets, or maybe I can't have everything stainless steel. Maybe I can't have 800 square feet. So you're gonna have to give a little bit, okay? You really are gonna have to give a little bit, all right? So after you do your research and you kind of have a better understanding of what's out there on the market, right? You kind of have a better understanding of what you're going to have to potentially give up to be able to move out and live comfortably, all right? You're at that point. Now, after you're at that point, you should probably make another list. I apologize in advance. You're going to be doing some writing for this, but it's smart. I kid you not, it's so smart. You need to make a list. After you kind of shop around and figure out, okay, this place may not have this and that, but I could stay here. Or this place may not have this and that, but I love this, so I would love to be here. Take it back. You're going to have to make a list. Let's just say, if I'm the person that's looking for an apartment, for me, there was a lot of stuff that I saw that I actually liked. So I'm just going to go with the number 10. I'm going to have 10 apartments. 10 apartments, right? After I make that list of 10 apartments in no specific order, no ranking, nothing, I'm going to do more research on those apartments. And when I say do more research, I'm talking you need to be looking at those reviews, and I'm not talking about just the reviews on the website, because they can put whatever they want on the website. I'm talking about the real deal. I'm talking about Yelp, okay? I'm talking about Google. I'm talking about whatever. Google reviews. I'm like, you know, I don't even know if they have apartment reviews on Yelp, but y'all know what I'm saying. Look more than outside of the website. The website for the apartment complex is not your only resource. It's not your only resource. You have other resources. You got Google, okay? Really look up reviews. What are people saying? What are people saying about management? What are people saying about the maintenance people? What are people saying about the people that stay there? You know, what are people having? Are people saying that the gate's always broken, or car break-ins, or violence in the neighborhood? What are people saying about the neighborhood, about the apartment complex, about the people that's there, about the people that run the area? You should know those things, because you are finna sign a contract. You finna put your name on a dotted line, and you need to be okay with the agreement that you're signing off of. And that's not just the wording that's in your contract. That's everything else outside of it that's not in your contract. They're not going to tell you that the gate's always broken. They're not going to tell you that the person next door smokes weed so you can smell it all in the vents. They're not going to tell you that these people don't be picking up, you know, the dog poop after they dogs. They're not going to tell you that. The people that rent the apartment not gonna tell you that. So you have to do your own research. You have to. You have to do your own research. And after you do your research, I say, we started with 10. We started with 10. So after you do your research, I say, let's make that list down to 5. Let's pick your top 5. So these top 5 apartments have so far met majority of your criteria, okay? Majority of your criteria. They meet majority of your needs. So those are the first thing you need to address. That's the first thing you need to address. It meets majority of your needs. Take into consideration how many people are actually saying some of these things, because some of the stuff in the reviews be real petty. Real petty. I'm just gonna put it like that, straight like that. Like, some of those reviews be real petty. So, you know, to each his own. Whatever is more important to you is more important to you. Somebody next door to you smoking weed may not bother you. It may bother me though. You know, so to each his own with that. But after you do that and you pick your top 5, and this part is a little creepy, but it's smart. I would somewhat kind of drive through that area every now and then, ever so often, and in different times of the day, right? What does the traffic look like in the morning? Are there people sneaking into the gates at night? You know, you can get a better idea of what type of people actually stay in this area. What's the demographic? Is it loud during this time of the day? You know, kind of peep out the scene. Like, really peep out the scene, because girl, it's gonna be your hood. That's gonna be your hood, and you need to be comfortable where you're staying at. That's one of the top needs. You need to be comfortable and you need to be safe. So after you pick your top 5, I would say really do some hands-on research and kind of drive around, stick around the neighborhood, see what type of people hanging around, that type of deal. That's gonna help you figure out maybe what's your top 3 out of that 5. So yeah, do that. Let's say out of that top 5 you were able to nail it down to top 3, and out of that top 3 you chose that one. All right, you chose that one. You done put down your deposit. You're saying, yes, this is it. I want to go with this one. At this point in time, you decided what you want to do next. Well, you've decided, you know, you're in a good position to move out, and you are going to move out, and you've done your due diligence to properly move out. All right, now you've signed your name on that dotted line and you picked your apartment. What's next? This is where the coins come in. Okay, this is nothing but coins at this point, right? Because now you need to, out of the budget that you decided you were going to save up to in the earlier points of the process, out of that budget you need to decide what's going to be your spending budget. Because you're going to need a sofa. You're going to need a sofa. You're going to need a bed. You're going to need pillows. You're going to need hangers. You know? Also with that, I know I'm kind of being like, I wouldn't have did it either. But consider what you can take from home. If you have tons of hangers already, bring the hangers you have. For me, I had a lot of hangers already from college. I still have those hangers. I didn't go buy out a bunch of new hangers. So I still had sheets and stuff and duvet covers and stuff that could fit, you know, some of the stuff I already have. So consider what you can bring from home, because now you really need to make a budget of how much you're going to spend to prepare yourself to move in. And this budget honestly needs to be strictly needs only. Strictly needs only. Do I need to define what needs are? You need somewhere to lay your head. You need somewhere to sit your behind. You need your area and your space to be clean. You need your area and space to be a safety zone. So if something goes left, you got something that can help you out. Those types of things. Those are necessities. You need lights, you need air, you may need internet if you're still a student, or if you don't plan on getting cable and you just want to use your Fire Stick. Those types of things are your necessities. So when you make your budget, make a very reasonable budget. Okay, and each person's budget is gonna be their own, right? Like I may have a $2,000 budget, you may have $1,500, the next person may have $3,500. Whatever. Each person's budget is on their own, but it needs to be reasonable and it needs to fit, you know, what you can afford to spend and still have money left over. So after you make that budget, again, we gonna go back and we gonna make another list, sis. We gonna make another list. When you say, hey, I'm only gonna spend $2,000 before I move in, and that's just about everything I need, you need to make another list. And you need to figure out, that list is gonna be 2 drafts again. Write down everything you feel like you could possibly need, and then make that second list in order of what you're going to buy. I would also put the dates beside it. Put the dates beside it of when you're gonna buy your bed, when you're gonna buy your mattress, when you're gonna buy your comforter set, stuff like that. Make that list. It's gonna be extremely helpful. And honestly, after you make that list and you finally decide to shop around for your basic necessities, y'all, don't be like me. I was trying to buy a $1,000 bed, and I'm just talking the bed frame. Like I was trying to do way too much, and I had everybody around me trying to bring me down from here to here. Okay, everybody was trying to bring me down. Let those people help you out, because you just don't need a $1,000 bed. You don't. You just don't need it. So that's it. That's all I have to say about that. Now the next thing is not really like a step, it's more so of a tip. It's something that I'm glad that I was able to do because I did have good preparation. I would say try your absolute best to purchase majority of everything if you can, but at least your needs. At least your needs. Purchase what you can in cash, okay? We don't want to go into our apartment with everything on layaway or buying everything with credit and this and that. We don't want you to walk into the situation with your money tied up here, there, there. We don't want to do that, okay? For the most part. And that's why I gave you guys the previous tips of knowing what you can afford and actually make a savings goal and wait till you get to that number before you leave. Right? Because I want you to be able to say, everything in here, I bought. And that's how I feel about my stuff. Everything up in here, I bought with my money. Everything in here is paid for. And that feels good to say. I'm not walking into my apartment feeling like, dang, now I need to add my bed into my budget every month because I didn't want to just outright pay for it, or I didn't save long enough for me to be able to outright pay for it. All right, so really try to pay what you can in cash and try to stay away from doing the credit stuff. Try to stay away from doing the credit stuff. And I say, if you are going to do layaway, do the layaway while you're saving your money, like before you even start doing your research on the apartments. Like if you know you want to move out and you decide you're going to move out, if you want to put your bed on layaway because you know you're not moving out until 3 months from now, that's fine. That's fine. But your necessities, that's something you need to have. You need to be able to lay your head somewhere. You need to be able to sit down. You should be able to, you know, at least have maybe one little TV to watch. Something. You need to be able to have your dishes. For me, for example, I racked up on cleaning supplies. I won't have to buy cleaning supplies for a minute. like really a minute. That's something I was glad I was able to do. Besides also paying for everything I have up in here. So that's that. The next little tip I kind of have to give y'all is just not really a tip, actually. It's more so like advice, which kind of takes me back to, you don't need $1,000 bed. Okay, this may be your first apartment and it's very exciting. It's very exciting to be stepping out there on your own and being able to call something your own, right? It's a great feeling, but this is not, and let me say it slower, this is not your forever home, okay? This is just you putting your foot in the water, you know, just to see if it's cold or whatever, to see if you can actually stand in it. That's what this is. This is to see if you can actually stand in it, right? You decided what you want to do. You decided, I don't want to live up under my parents' roof no more. I want to do what I want to do. You want to be grown. You want to go and come and go as you please. This is just, you are just putting your feet in the water. You're testing it out, right? You're testing it out. And if it's bearable, you can stand in it. You can stand in it. We're not swimming yet. We're not swimming yet. We're working our way to the swimming. We're just standing in the water right now because it's a little cold, right? If you understand the analogy of what I'm saying. You're trying to get on your feet, okay? This is not your forever home. Everything does not have to be perfect. Everything doesn't have to look like the pictures you see on Instagram of the dream homes, because I know I did it. I know I did it. I had my little albums where you can save stuff to your list, your different lists in Instagram. I had my little albums, okay, of bedroom, you know, decor ideas. I had it. I had those things. And girl, Instagram will sell you some dreams, honey. Instagram will have you out here thinking you could really have the same exact room. And if you got the coins, sis, do it. Do it. But listen, for us who have to be a little bit more mindful about where our money goes, and we want to be just a little bit more cautious because we are just putting our foot out there in the water, just please remember, this is not your forever home. The most I wanted was to feel like I'm not embarrassed if I invite somebody over. That's the most that I wanted. Now that's me, that's not everybody else. But I'm comfortable with where I stay, and I don't mind inviting nobody over. I'm not embarrassed whatsoever of my place. You know what I'm saying? So remember, this is not your forever home. That's all I have to say about that. I think the last piece of advice that I could give, or just something that you should remember, is that you're not gonna have everything at once, right? Please focus on what you need first. Really focus on what you need first, and then do little things like decor, right? Because decor, if you're really, really into decor, decor can get expensive. We know that. We know that. But listen, I'm a TJ Maxx girl. Okay? I like TJ Maxx. I like Burlington Coat Factory. I like At Home. I like Marshalls and stuff like that. Like, shoot, even Target. Target is a little bit more expensive than the places, but they be coming through. I'm just saying, for decor and stuff like that, listen, okay, please just make sure that your necessities are taken care of. Those are going to be the most important things that you should be buying anyway, right? Again, necessities. You need a bed. You may want to go ahead and get your sofa. You may need to get a security system. That's what I did. You know, those types of things. You may want to go ahead and rack up on your cleaning supplies. You need towels. You need, you know, plates and cups and stuff like that. Like, get your home essentials first. And then focus on the decor after you've been able to maybe get a little settled. And honestly, another thing I'll say is, after you move in, you don't want to move in feeling like, oh, everything's already in place. After you move in, give yourself something to do. Give yourself something to do. Like, you don't want to be sitting up in your apartment all day because you got everything. You know, like, hey, tomorrow I may decide, you know what, I've been looking for a cute little vanity tray that I kind of want to put in my bathroom. Let me go look for that. Give yourself something to do after you move in. Everything's not going to fall into place, you know, before you can put your 2 feet in the door. Okay? This one's random. This one's really random. But please, I should have mentioned this one earlier, child. Hold on. Please read the lease before you sign it. I mean, read it from like top to bottom. Top to bottom. I say that because a lot of people don't know that these apartment complexes can change, you know, your rent whenever they want to. They can go up on the rent whenever they want to. Or let's say something comes up and you get sick and you can't afford to pay the bills anymore and you got to go home until you get back on your feet. You don't want to be stuck to where you got to pay 6 more months of rent before you can even get out of your contract. Those are the types of things that you should know what you're signing off on. Okay? Please, please, please. Again, I know it's a wonderful journey. I went through it. I'm here. I'm still here. Of course, there's some stuff that I could have did better. There's some stuff that, you know, I should have just did, period. But we're here. We're surviving. We're making it work. And it's all because of good planning and because I had steady income to help me move through those different processes. I want all of you all to accomplish that. At some point, we're all gonna have to step out there and be on our own, right? And you just have to go about it in a decent, I'm not even gonna say good or the right way. Just go about it in a decent way. Like, if you do the groundwork before you move, when you move, it'll be a breeze. Honestly, I can honestly say that. So, yeah, y'all. Those are my little tips, you know, on how to properly prepare to move into your first apartment. You know, threw some advice in there or whatever. You know, if you are in the process of moving right now, let me know down in the comments if some of this stuff actually helped you, or, you know, if you feel like some of these things you wish you would have done. If you already moved out, you know, give us your experience. Like, let's talk about it. If you guys like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you feel like somebody could really benefit from this video, share it. If you want to become a part of this family that we got going on over here, subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to get my Instagram game up, y'all. I promise you I am. But the way this quarantine set up, and that's, I'm not even gonna cat with y'all, because I was gonna give y'all some excuses, because there's a lot of people out here still doing their Instagram thing even in this quarantine. So I'm gonna get it together. But yeah, thank y'all so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.